everyone. I'm Kim Graves, and we are here for the Ripple Effect from Solidarity Community Federal Credit Union. And Jessica, hi, how are you?
Good, how are you?
Good.
Glad you're here.
Glad to be back. I am so glad to be back.
We missed Kim for the few weeks that she was gone, for sure.
I'm off and back at it, and not quite ready to run, but
A quick, brisk walk, I think.
yeah.
Yeah. She had foot surgery, if you didn't get that reference.
Yeah. That's what happens when you kick a door. Not really.
With your heel?
With my heel. With my heel.
We have a very special guest joining us today from Soul House. Richard Lightsey is here. Good day to you. How are you today?
I am well. This is my first.
This is your first?
My first podcast.
Your first
Well,
podcast.
welcome.
So I'm not going to be as versed as you, but I'll do my best.
Hey, that's okay.
You'll do fantastic.
All right.
You'll do
So
fantastic.
Soul House, let's talk about it. What is Soul House?
Soul House is a building, and it's located right across from Foster Park, 510 West Superior Street. And it's a place for people to come, as the little brochure says here, a place where people come to read, to write, to share conversation and community, to form book clubs, foodie groups, not foot-y groups, foodie groups.
Richard.
Just my first. Garden co-ops, support
great.
and recovery groups, workshops, open conversations, spiritual direction. You all could do a live show at the Soul House yourself.
It might just be you there.
It's open to all, and it's fully on a donation basis. All the people that work there are volunteers, and all the books that are there are all donated. And so thanks to the generosity of St. Andrew Episcopal Church, there's my call out.
Thank you, priest.
Father.
Father.
It exists, and it's a wonderful place.
Okay, so why did you start Soul House? Like, what was, you're like, okay, this is something we need in Kokomo?
Well, I think you need it anywhere, and especially in Kokomo, a place where people can come away from their home to do things that normally home is a distraction from, like to read that book that's been sitting on the shelf, or to write that memoir, or to just journal, or just a time to sit and be quiet. You can also go outside, and when the weather is nice, there's a garden out in the back. But it's just a cool little building that calls for creative and communal things to happen there.
Because when you're at home, you get distracted, or you get a phone call, or something comes up, and you're not able to get that free time that you want. So this is a place where you can go and totally
Focus.
Be present, too.
And be away from the dishes and the vacuum cleaner and from others.
Relax.
Yeah.
others.
Yeah, it's very
Something like that,
relaxing. There's always there's a Keurig there, and also coffee to be brewed. Generally, volunteers will bring in snacks, and so they're just kind of there at the snack table, and people can make themselves at home. There's a fireplace. There's different rooms. There's a special room for toddlers and kids to go into with kids' books. There's a back room where if somebody just wants to be alone, or just a one-on-one or a small group, then there's the main dining room. And then as you enter the building, there is the actual book store room, but there's books all over the place for people to just...
Now, is this opened all the time, or what are the
Not
hours?
all the time. We try to be open Monday through Friday, 10 to 4.
Okay.
And we're pretty successful in doing that. And our hope is to be open on Saturdays. And on occasion, I get volunteers who will be there on Saturdays. Presently, not. So another call out for volunteers to come help us keep this place open.
Hey, he needs a volunteer to come down there and help with the foodie group. I mean, is that bring some food and have the foodie group?
Well, you can bring food, but you know, those who love to cook, the place, we've received all kinds of cookbooks. There's wonderful cookbooks. There's probably about 50 different cookbooks there that people have donated. So you can just choose one of those, do, Mediterranean cuisine, do diabetic healing cuisine, the barbecue. There's all kinds of books you can choose from and start a foodie group.
Are you there
foodie
to try it?
I would be.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've been trying to call out people to come and be part of that and to lead that. I've got several chefs in my life,
Wow.
but chefs are busy people.
Yes, they are.
And if you're chefing somewhere, you don't want a chef extra.
Right. That's your job.
Yeah.
And it's probably strange hours.
But there's also just wonderful people that know how to cook, know how to make good soup.
Mm-hmm.
I think I know how to cook, but
Yeah.
sometimes it just doesn't turn out
Yeah.
I know how to
Yeah.
make good soup.
Another reason
out of a can. Yeah.
why is podcasts are great, virtual is great, but increasingly we need real time.
Yep.
So we're experiencing something right here that's different than people who are experiencing it on their screen. This face to face, human to human, and so that's another reason why we have Soul House to happen. And it's not a place that you go in and you feel guilty for not buying something. Somebody just posted recently on the site that that's what they loved about it, that when you go there, you don't feel like, well, I should be supporting it. Not that we don't need support, but we need people to just kind of help believe in the idea that we're doing, and little $5 or $10 donations go a long way. Other ways the place helps to be sustained is if you find a book that you want or multiple books, we just ask that you give a donation for the books, because all the books came to us free, and so they leave with people who want to help support what we're doing.
So can we bring our books to you?
Oh, yes.
Okay.
And we specifically kind of want to gather books that fit within our vision, which is embracing and encouraging everyone on their own personal journey. So books that really cause personal growth to you, and it could be fictional, it could be a story that changed your life, but hobbies are, artistic books, cookbooks, spiritual, soulful books, things that made an impact in your life. We don't want your boxes and boxes of just books.
Yep.
We want books that have a purpose. But we'll take them, and then if we don't feel like it fits within what we're trying to do, we'll bring them to the local library.
I already have 2 books that I'm thinking that I've already read that I think I might want to bring that have to do with that.
Yeah, and what I would like is if when people donate books, they write a little something inside the
that.
book
That's a great
that
idea.
says what it meant to them, not why they're donating it, but what the book meant to them.
I
how
think
it
that's
changed
great.
their life. Yeah.
Yeah. I can think of 2 again that would be perfect.
What are they?
The first one is Wintering. Have you?
I just led a book club on that
Yeah.
in December, January, and February. We did a wintering book club.
The Art of Rest During Stressful Times. Is that right?
Yeah.
Yep. And then the other one is Everything is Spiritual by Rob Bell. I mean, I feel like that makes sense in this one. It's a great book about spirituality and how that can connect to all different people with all different beliefs. Very open-minded. I loved it.
Yeah. Yeah, the Soul House fits into the whole ethos that we know of as the Episcopal ethos. It's very ecumenical, very respectful for all the different traditions and beliefs that make this world a better place.
Now, you talked about a gardening group.
There is a garden out back, thanks to Jan and Greg Wall. They call it the Butterfly Garden. It's pollinators with plants and such. It's a nice sitting place out there. There's about 4 raised beds in the back. In the wintertime, it's a back parking place, but when the season starts to change, as it is now, we try to make it so that people can go out, sit. You can even, go out and have a barbecue gathering. And that's what it's available for. Let's say you have a gathering that's too big for your house, or you don't want to be bothered to getting your house ready. This space is available for both personal as well as public gatherings.
I thought it was more where you can go out and plant.
Well, you can. I mean, you can weed especially.
Well, okay, so
come
now
and
I got a
weed
little
and
bit
hoe.
of
But
story about the weeding because
but
I used
you
to do it as a kid. I weeded our garden all the time.
you
So
can come and be a part of that. And yeah, Jen and Greg are looking for people who will help them do that.
when we were kids and we were in trouble, which was
You had to weed.
frequently,
Yeah.
yeah, that was one of our plans of punishment was you had to weed the garden.
That's right.
And I
Somebody's got to
kind
weed
of,
it.
yeah. And so to this day, I'm still weeding.
Well, but then it's punishment, So
But I
you
think
get to weed the garden. No, I mean I'm
you're
into
right.
gardening. In fact,
Right.
personally, Annie and I, my wife, we purchased the strip of grass that's there on Carter Street, and we're creating a communal space there on Carter and Berkeley Street. There, just where the Walk of Excellence begins.
Okay. Yep.
And I'm actually presently on a 2-month sabbatical to kind of give myself to the whole spring prep for that communal space that Dave and Ann Braun, as well as Deandra Beard. I'm part of her the North Side City of Refuge Gardens. We're all in co-op with one another. So gardening is very much part of my side hobby as well as part of my whole soulful life.
I think that our gardening is so underestimated when it comes to just managing your mental health too. There's something to be
know.
said about just getting in the dirt and your mind is only on that. Takes you away to somewhere else and it's relaxing. Plus you're
It actually
growing
is.
delicious or beautiful things.
I know.
Yeah.
I know. There's
Yeah.
more to it than just pulling a weed.
Yep.
It got me through the pandemic.
Yeah.
Really, I never even thought about that. But yeah, it makes sense
Oh yeah.
because it is very relaxing.
Well, you mentioned the pandemic, and Richard, you mentioned something earlier about connection, just face-to-face connection with people. People are so much more lonely now, it feels like, than they ever have been before. And Soul Place is a great place to connect. Soul House, a great place to connect. Woo!
It is. And when you volunteer there, see, this is how I pitch and get volunteers. It's your weekly date, and how the volunteer system works. A person chooses one day out of the week, the same day, like Mondays. Let's say you wanted to volunteer, I'd give you the option of being there from 10 to 1 or 1 to 4. So you're just committed to 3 hours. But if you can do that, then you get 3 hours in a bookstore, and a lot of the times you're just by yourself. So we don't get a lot of foot traffic. So it's your own personal date and time to go and sit amongst the books and either bring one of your own or choose from literally thousands of books that are been gathered there over the past year, which Soul House was open Thanksgiving of 2023. So right after Thanksgiving there on Small Business Saturday, it was open. So it's been open going on a year and a half, though the building itself has been called the Soul House for a number of years. And before the pandemic, my wife and a friend of hers created the Soul Sisters artistic place out of the Soul House. And she's actually responsible for all the renovations that happened to the building that turned what kind of was the homeliest building on the block into the coolest looking
Vibrant.
I have heard she's a pretty cool lady.
on Superior Street, which has a vibe of its own.
Yes, it
We've
does.
got Rum Academy right next door. We've got the yoga place down the street. We've got the cool Episcopal Church right across the parking lot.
I got to tell you, the Episcopal Church does sound very cool.
It is.
It does sound great.
Yeah, it is. It's a wonderful tradition and very, very old, ancient tradition as well as hip and new.
Yeah.
Listen,
like that.
he's very proud.
You should be.
Look at him.
Well,
proud
you
of
can
you.
tell.
I say this. We are increasingly a culture without tradition and without belonging. We're all very individualistic. We've all been burned and hurt and disappointed and disgruntled with things around us. And we find ourselves detached and alone and just trying to make our way with just a few around us. So to find a tradition that is by no means perfect, but recognizes that it is not perfect, and a welcoming place that focuses on welcoming and receiving people. I have found a place of belonging there.
I like
Very
that a
well
lot.
said.
Yeah.
Very well said. Hmm.
And Richard Lightsey with us from Soul House today. Richard, we've talked about a lot of things. We've talked a lot about what you provide for the community. You know, we talked volunteers, we can provide for you books. What else do you need?
Well, just use the space. Come and become more creative people. Here, I'm going to quote this. Why Soul Books and Gathering Place? We believe the spirit of life emanates from the deeper places of mindful words and thoughtful conversation, invoked by the writers, artists, thinkers, builders, and healers of the world. We have created a place to share their journeys in books, art, and photography, to inspire everyone to pursue the spirit of their own life. So what people of this community can do is pursue that spirit of their own life. Read more, get together in live, real interaction with other people. Use it as a space to meet with your small group. Use it as a space to just one time get together with extended friends and family. Use it as a space to do that workshop that you've been wanting to offer publicly. Recently, somebody has become part of our volunteer base. Her name is Kelly Gaskell, and she offers Reiki, and she was just thrilled with the place because she's been looking for a place to offer it beyond her home. And so it's just a place that can be a second home to you, that your own home, the sanctity and just the privacy of your own home, it isn't a good thing to offer that. But it feels like a home.
Yeah. Well, and I want to clarify this for folks who might not be sure. Yes, it is tied in with the Episcopal Church, but you don't necessarily have to be a religious person to go there.
No. And most Episcopalians aren't religious people. But no. That is why, that it's a space that stands on its own.
And
It's
a
not there
happy,
to
welcoming place.
It's not there to solicit. It's not there to convert. It's not there to convince anybody of anything other than to encourage their own personal journey.
I like it.
So I'm glad he
That's what
said
it is.
that.
Yeah,
because
I
I
think it's
think
important.
most people would definitely think
Yep.
that that's what it's about.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's yeah. And the building has long existed apart from, but very much at the generosity and community and extension of the community that is shared in a church. And again, getting back to that thing that we're all just kind of trying to find our own way to have community in your life beyond our, nuclear or just our close friends, but to have a bit more of a diverse community in your life is something that is lacking in a lot of our life. But a place where you can be completely you and received and welcomed as that. Because you bring to community something that's missing, you,
I like
and all that you are. So you bring to the Soul House, if it becomes a place that you become familiar with, and then you become comfortable with, and then you become at home with, it can become part of your regular space. And it's open publicly 10 to 4. We hope to extend that into the evenings, but we need volunteers to do that. That's all that we need, is people who are able to commit those times and have the place open. But you're able to call the number that is there. That actually is my own cell number. And I can make arrangements so that the place is open for you when you need it to be open.
That's great.
So let's say you have a book club on Monday night at midnight, and I'll make sure the place is open for you at midnight. But I'd rather have you have the
You'd
book
rather
Say
you not
I'd
do that.
rather have you have the
Jessica.
book club
Yeah.
at 7 or 8.
Yeah.
We're just talking about how Episcopalians are cool. So, let's be cool and do it during times that are
Yeah, what I'll do is the back door's open. You can let yourself
Back
in,
door's
and then-
open.
and then lock it when you leave, please.
Can you make a food run too while we're here?
Yeah.
Do you guys have a Facebook page or a
Yes,
website
yes,
that talks
yes,
more
yes.
about?
Yeah, there's a page,
Okay.
a Facebook page, Soul House Books. Just Google, just
Right.
search for
Yeah.
Soul House Books, and it will come up.
Okay.
And so yeah, that's all we have as far as social media at this point.
So they have tons to offer and they have space available and it's accommodating. There's so many different types of groups that you can participate in. Um, I mean, everything
What-
sounds, I mean, you said as far as the groups, there's a book club.
Well, oh, yes, that
And then-
there's a once a month. We're with the band.
Mm-hmm.
The band book club. So
Mm-hmm.
specifically reading
band.
books.
He
that
said
are
we're
about-
with the band.
Yes,
No,
we're
okay.
with
I'm
the
like, did you
band.
start a
That is
band?
the name of the
yeah.
Because we
group.
can start a
Isn't that
band.
cool? We're with the band.
I love that.
That meets once a month, and then there is a stories from your life writing circle that
Yes.
meets once a month, and then Kokomo Pride Men's Group meets there once a month. There's a drum circle that meets there once a month.
Well, a drum circle.
Yeah, Sundays. First Sundays at 2:00. It was hosted by Joanne Crawford. Initiated it, and it's a wonderful gathering. I used to participate and lead a lot of drum circles. So when she came and said she wanted to start a drum circle at the Soul House, I said, "Fantastic!" And now I get to be part
Actual
of
Now you get to drum and
Actual
not just
drums?
teach.
it. Drum.
drums?
Yeah,
Yep.
Yeah,
drum-
it's just
drum.
you don't have to have any
You get a
experience, do you?
circle. No, yeah, it's a social, it's a communal thing,
Huh.
and it goes from 2 to 4, and it's become a wonderful place, Sunday afternoon place.
You know, I always say there's nothing that unites people more than just a sing along
Right?
and a drum along, right?
drum,
How
yeah.
fun would that be?
We did a sing along not too long ago.
That would be great.
Yeah.
That probably is coming, but yeah, it at this point, it's underutilized and underdiscovered, and so it's there for people to discover and utilize it.
So let's do that.
Yeah.
So, I mean, if you're at
Yeah.
home and you have nothing to do, there's so much here to offer. I mean,
Yeah.
you can pull up their Facebook, you can see these different things that are going on and just go out and check it out.
Yeah, just and now that the weather is fine, make it part of your visit to Foster Park and Superior Street. Check out Rum Academy next door. So yeah, it's easy to get to and just drop by and check it out.
Yeah.
That's great.
Sounds
Richard,
great.
thank you so much for joining us today.
Yeah, thank you for letting me be part of this. My first podcast.
You nailed it.
Did great.
You did really well.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I'm Jessica Ausbrook. This is Kim Graves. We're from Solidarity Community Federal Credit Union. Thanks so much for watching The Ripple Effect today.